In the 20th century, clouds were seeded by numerous countries around the globe with various chemicals to produce rain. China was just doing this over the summer in Beijing to make sure that there weren't any rain, that there wasn't any rain during the Olympics. But all this has changed dramatically with the U.S. military's secretive research and plans to control the planet's natural weather. This has not been given very much press, and we have to remember that we have a corporate-owned press where 85% of radio, television, and print media is owned by 5 corporations. The Air Force is on record as saying, quote, they want to control the weather by 2025, and we are not talking about just seeding the clouds for rain. Weather modification means, quote, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere, unquote. And as of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with a toxic brew of chemicals and other biologic agents. The military and some commercial planes are spraying us with what are called chemtrails. I want you to look at and oftentimes before there's a weather front, there are heavy assaults from these planes just before a weather front is changed.
We shall propose further cooperative efforts between all the nations in weather prediction and eventually in weather control.
We've been dealing a lot with some military activity in terms of chaff anyway, and that's something that I experienced for the first time yesterday. That was a whole lot of fun. And that's where the military just basically dumps some of the tiny particles of plastic or metal mylar into the atmosphere.
Every time you pick up a newspaper, every time you switch on the TV, you can bet your own boots that at some point you'll see a high-ranking guard or else a TD calling on all who are meant to be free to stand up and defend law and order. It's illegal to rip off a payroll. It's illegal to hold up a train. But it's legal to rip off $1 million or $2 million that comes from the labours that other folk do. To plunder the many on behalf of a few. It's a thing that is perfectly legal. It's illegal to kill off your landlord or to trespass upon his estate. But to charge a high rent for a slum is okay. To condemn 2 adults and 3 children to stay in a hovel that's rotten with damp and decay. It's a thing that is perfectly legal. If your job turns you into a zombie, then it's legal to feel some despair. But don't get aggressive and don't get too smart. For Christ's sake, don't upset the old apple cart. Remember your boss has your interests at heart, and it grieves them to see you unhappy. If you fashion a bomb in your kitchen, then you're guilty of breaking the law. But a bloody great nuclear plant is okay, and plutonium processing hastens the day when this small little isle will be blasted away. Nonetheless, it is perfectly legal. It's illegal if you are a traveller to camp by the side of the road. But it's proper and right for the rich and the great to live in a mansion and own an estate that was got from the people by pillage and rape. Well, that's what they call a tradition. It's illegal to kill off your missus or put poison in your romance tea. But poison the rivers, the seas and the skies, and poison the minds of a nation with lies. It's all in the interest of free enterprise. Nonetheless, it is perfectly legal. Well, it's legal to sing on the telly, but make bloody sure that you don't. To sing about racists and fascists and creeps and those in high places who live off the weak. And those who are selling us right up the creek, the twisters, the takers, the con men, the fakers, the whole bloody gang of exploiters.
You can spray something into the atmosphere to change.
Spray pollution into the atmosphere to stop it warming. So you'd put, say, 20,000 tons of sulfuric acid into the stratosphere every year, and each year you have to put a little more. And this doesn't, in the long run, mean that you can forget about cutting emissions. We will need to rein in emissions.
No, we'll get to it eventually, yeah.
But it does.
In the meantime, we're shrouding the earth in sulfuric acid.
So people are terrified about talking about this because they're scared that it will prevent us cutting emissions.
Right, and also that it's sulfuric acid. I think you're bearing the lead. Is there any possible way this could come back to bite us in the ass?
Right question, but we put 50 million tons of sulfuric acid in the air now as pollution, and it kills 1 million people a year worldwide.
Okay, and that's good or bad?
It's terrible.
But it'll be better if we put more in.
We're talking about 1% of that, a tiny fraction of that. So we should reduce that sulfuric acid
So if it
pollution.
kills 1 million people and we're only
bad.
doing 1% more, we're just killing 10,000 more people.
You can do math.
Now, what happens to the sulfuric acid after it's sprayed? Does it just stay up there?
No, it rains down.
Okay.
But as I said, it rains down.
Okay.
It's a tiny addition to what we're already doing. The worst way to make decisions about this would be if we all agree that we won't talk about it in polite society, we suppress it, which is basically what had been happening, and then in 2030, suddenly in a crisis, we make fast decisions.
Maybe it's happening already. You ever look at those planes up there? They have contrails behind them. Maybe all those planes with the contrails, maybe they're actually spraying chemicals into the atmosphere right now, and Uncle Sam isn't telling us.
Seems extremely unlikely.
That the United States is not telling something to its citizens, that seems extremely likely to me. Read the newspaper. I think they might have your idea already. Dr. Mister, thank you so much. David Keith, A Case for Climate Engineering. We'll be right back.